Hey guys, so recently I was asked to do a video on how I cut and store all of my soaps. And while I'm going to save the storage part for another video, I am going to show you how I cut my soap. And also I want to do kind of an experiment with you guys. I had heard of curing your soaps here on YouTube, and I wanted to know why do that. Curing is where you let some of your soap sit out and pretty much air dry. When you cut a piece of fresh soap, it's kind of more, you can bend it, I guess it's more malleable. And then, I don't know if that's the right word, but you can bend it easier, and when you let a soap sit out and cure, it's more tough and you can't break it as easily. And I wanted to see what the difference was between a fresh cut piece of soap and a cured piece of soap when you actually use it. So I'm going to show you how I cut this piece of soap first, and I'm going to use a fresh piece of Angel's Delight soap and then a cured piece of Angel's Delight soap, and we're also going to do it with another soap. This is sea vegetable soap, and I pre-cut it just because we all know how well that went last time. And then I have a cured piece. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I cut this, and this is with a regular butter knife. And I just start about this much in right here because you don't really need that much for a shower. So I just dig in my knife, and most soaps, unlike sea vegetable, are much easier to cut. So I just put a little bit of pressure and my knife just kind of glides through. You might have to put a little bit of pressure, but it's not really that hard. Not that difficult. This is going to make a liar out of me now. I'm having to put a little bit more pressure than I'm used to. Yeah. But there you go. It's not very messy. It's a lot easier than it was to cut the sea vegetable soap. Kind of just glides through. So this is the fresh piece of Angel's Delight soap. And it's got this little chunk of the star on it. It's kind of a pretty piece. It's got the purple and pink to it. Okay, so now I just set my chunk off to the side. And see, it's a lot more... you can bend it pretty easily. See, it just kind of, and it won't usually break. Whereas this one, can't really bend it that easy. And if I were to do it, it would break really easily, like break in half. Whereas this one will kind of rip. Then this one, I definitely cannot move at all, because it's just a more thick soap. It's a lot tougher to cut. And this one, when it's cured, it is more malleable, which is kind of weird. But anyway, probably because it's thinner. But anyway, I'm going to show you how we're going to do this little experiment. And I'm going to show you how this curing thing works. I have not tested this out yet, so you're going to do this experiment with me. So I'm rolling up my sleeves here. And first, we're going to do the fresh piece of Angel's Delight, and then we're going to go in with the cured piece and see if they're any different at all. So, I'm just going to wet this. And I'm getting sort of a smooth lather, not very thick, but nice. So you can see here. And if you want to love it or leave it video on any of these, or I already did this sea vegetable soap, but if you want to love it or leave it on the Angel's Delight, I'd be more than happy to do one for you. But there's the lather I get. It's pretty thick, really nice and smooth. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the cured piece and see if it's any different. So, here is the cured piece. Let's see how it works. Whoops. Dropped it there. Okay, so this lather is coming out a lot more bubbly than the other. Remember, the other one was kind of a more smooth, creamy finish, and this one is a lot more bubbly. And it comes off, I want to say more thick. That one was a creamy, sort of thin lather, and this one is bubbly and thick. So there is a difference when you cure the soap. So that was kind of fun. I guess it's just your preference. I mean, they both smell the same. The fresh one, again, is more bendable, and then the cured one is more tough to kind of bend. And the fresh one is also more of a really thin lather, whereas the cured one is sort of more thick, bubbly lather. So I guess it's all about your preference. So next I'm going to go in with a fresh piece of the sea vegetable soap, fresh cut. And with this one, I'm kind of getting a mixture of what I got with the two Angel's Delight soaps. It's bubbly, but at the same time it's kind of creamy. So this is the lather that I'm getting, really thick and nice. So that's what that looks like. Okay, now we're going to go in with the cured piece. And what I did notice about this piece from the first time I used it to when I had let it sit out, that the first time I used it, there was a thicker layer of this seaweed on top, and it broke off when I first used it. And this is the piece that broke off. So you can see how much broke off of it. And then after I used it, after that, no more of this broke off. So I think that if you have some soap with maybe like, you know, Sexy Peel has the flesh of the fruit on top, that if you let them cure, maybe that stuff will stay better on there to exfoliate you later. Okay, so we got a nice bubbly smooth lather from that. Let's see what we get from the cured piece. Okay, and just now I'm getting more bubbles, just like the other one. The seaweed on top is a lot more hardened than it was in the fresh piece. So it might give you a little more exfoliation with that. But this one is more of a finer bubble lather. Not quite as thick as the first one. So I'm getting different effects from each of these soaps. So not all soaps are the same, obviously. With this cured piece of Angel's Delight soap, I got a much more thick, bubbly lather. And then with this cured piece of sea vegetable soap, I got a more thin, bubbly lather. So, and then the same was true with the fresh cut pieces of each. It was the exact opposite. So I guess it's all about your preference with the cured soaps. They definitely do change the soap, but it's all about how you want your soaps to be after you've cut them. So let me know what your preference is with soaps, whether it be fresh cut or cured, and let me know your experiences with some different soaps. Also, I want to know, if I were to have a blog TV, would you come? I do own a blog TV account, and I do enjoy going and talking on other people's blog TVs, or chatting on other people's blog TVs, and I wanted to know if I had one, would you guys come? So let me know, and I hope you had fun with this experiment, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!